Hello, everybody, and welcome to the front nine holes of the final round of the 2021 Silver Cup. We are here in Manitowoc, Wisconsin at Silver Creek Park, and we have a heater of a final round card for you. The man Cale Leiviska is the one to catch. Is he just a bit too far out of reach? We will see. We move into hole number one. Again, 250 feet. There's a tight inside gap that a lot of flex backhands like to fly through. A little bit more open, a little bit more technical line. There is a straight gap that's tighter, but more right in front of you. Again, Cale, Neal, Mike Carman, Andrew Brown. Let's get after it.
I've got to note that this is one of the largest leads that I've seen on coverage going into a final round. 10 strokes. Good to see Neal Swanson.
Long-time good player from the North Chicago suburbs. I grew up playing leagues and tournaments alongside Neal.
Oh, cool. Mike Carman, Team Discmania. This event is presented by Discmania and Rollin Ridge Disc Golf Course. One of the premier wooded courses I've ever played.
And that was a little bit too tight. Mike was on the tour for most of this year. So it's nice to see him out here.
And this is a player that I have yet to see play. Andrew Brown. He is an ultimate player, and wow, you can see it in his style. He has that kind of Andrew Fish little wind up.
A little pendulum almost. You'll really tell watching the sidearm, and you'll really tell watching the approach shots.
Okay, have you played with him?
I've never played with him before, but like you said,
You'll just be able to pick up on it.
You'll see.
The ultimate, yeah. Whoa, Neal almost dropping that in there. All right, already out of the gate, little nose up.
Almost dropped that in from about 90 feet. Mike with a long putt from circle two, about edge of it. And Cale is starting off with a bang. There's his first birdie of the day. He moves to 24 under par. Let's get that little Terry Miller disc golf guy rewind. It's going to be tough to catch him today.
Yeah, especially if he's dropping in push putts like that.
I mean, if he was even making the spin putts he made in round two.
Gosh.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. But again, second place is still up for grabs. As you can see, Neal is in second at 13, but then you have Mike and Andrew at 12 right behind him.
All right, hole two playing right along the shores of Lake Michigan. Technical straight shot. Maybe 10 feet across the whole way. You're so close to the water's edge right here. You can hear the waves coming in as you're on the tee pad.
Such a clean, compact stroke from Cale, and that is inside circle one, putting for a birdie. You wonder where the wind is coming off of. Usually off the water. And Neal, just a powerful, compact lefty. When I was coming up in the game as a kid, I remember all the locals having so many stories of Neal Swanson at our local courses. He's been at this for a long time. Nice little kiss off the tree. And he loves it.
A little react cam. That looks great.
Nice compact stroke as well from Mike. A little bit short, got a little bit too much flip there, but he's still putting at the basket as the Monarch Butterfly gracefully flies in front of the basket. Oh yeah, there's a little nose angle from Andrew. Smooth up to the basket.
Curious what kind of putting style Andrew's going to rock. Oh, exaggerated hyzer.
It's actually a great putting style on these Mach X baskets. Mike grabs the birdie. Yesterday was a pretty conservative day for Cale. You wonder if he's going to have a little bit more fun today if he starts out on a good note. All right, back to hole number 3. Tight gap. It's got to be a hyzer flip unless you're going with a forehand flex. Got to get up to the top of this plateau, fighting against all these guardian trees. A 2 on this hole is very solid, but a 3 will definitely not lose you strokes on the card. Is he gonna get it? Oh, and he was 2 feet away from perfection. And Neal going.
That looks good. Can it beat those trees?
Stable backhand, and it kept trying to fight. He should have a pretty easy time getting up that hill, I believe.
Yeah, that's a good reaction right there.
Gets straight to the top.
It's that motion right there at the start that really gives it away. Ultimate player.
Oh, and he just hits the last guardian. That was looking to be real nice. And I love it. I love all the crossover athletes that we're starting to get. You know, our 2 biggest disc sports right now in the world, ultimate and disc golf, are finally starting to see the benefits of crossing over. If only freestyle can make a comeback as well, and
that'd be great.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Bring back the competitive times of old from the 1970s and 80s. Oh, just off the front.
The nubs. Frustrating type of miss right there.
Andrew snags the 3 there. He's going to move to 13. And that's going to be 3 birdies in a row for Cale to start the round.
All right, hole 4. We're playing the par 4 here. It says 423. Plays a little bit longer. There is a Mando that you have to go left of. You can't cut the corner. You almost turn around. The hole's kind of in the shape of a boomerang right here. And it is possible to get one up and over the hill and kind of drift.
I've seen it. I've seen it happen.
A lot of the players are just going to be playing to the top of the hill. You want to try and get one over by the old pin location, and that's actually cutting the corner a little bit right there, and he's got 150 feet down the hill.
And that was a mid-range. You see how you could do it with a driver. If you have something flippy enough that you can throw with a little nose angle, you throw it a little higher.
And the lefty actually has a chance to cut the corner.
Yeah,
I believe that's what Neal was trying to do right there.
Definitely. You see him laughing. He was trying. Nice smooth flex shot from Andrew. Gets straight to the right landing zone. Oh no. Literally the worst possible kick you could get. Way left and way long. We'll see what he has from there. Par at best. Oh no.
Oh, it's Trail over here. One forehand roller.
Oh, and he's put a great move on this. No!
Man, you just want to see that finish. What an out.
And nice, soft little putter there for Andrew. That's going to be easy money for him. And let's see if Cale can make the correction. He screwed this one up in round number 2, and he corrects it this time.
He's going to be 4 for 4. Mm-hmm. Wow, the wind is really coming off that lake. You can hear it in the background. The lighthouse hole coming up is going to be pretty interesting.
And you see where Mike ended up. You just wish he was 2 feet left or 2 feet right with that roller. And Cale says, I really just don't want any of you to try to catch me right now. I just want you to know where you stand. Easy birdie for Neal. He's going to move to 16. He's in second place.
Yeah, I'd like to see where that ended up at the stump.
Me too, Mike.
And an awesome, long flexing par 3, hole number 5, 365. You have to hit this initial gap with either a subtle flipping hyzer that rides flat at the very end, or you can go with a cut roller I've seen. I've also seen a long flex sidearm if you have it. This is a bonus birdie that we've seen.
Yeah, we saw Cale go M4 birdie during round 2. He's got the same disc in his hands.
But he has pulled that a bit more. Is he going to sneak through? He is. And he does it again. If you watch that shot in slow motion, you'll see truly how flippy that disc is. He's really backing off of it. But his timing is so good that he can still put enough force on it to get it to go down the fairway like that. Neal overturns that just a bit, but it's still moving. Hits the tree line, and he's going to have himself a circle 2 look as well. Oh, yeah.
It's looking good right through the gap. Stabling out a little quick, catching that back wall. It's a fine line between throwing it to that back wall or fading out just in front of it,
Yeah.
getting into that hillside.
And Mike's is a little high, softly fading, and he does not make the corner. You wonder what he has from there, honestly. Maybe a flick. So gentle. And here's a birdie look from Neal, circle 2. Oh, just off the top. First blemish, and I say a blemish, it's actually a par. 4 down through 5.
That would have been pretty nasty to get that hole back-to-back going mid-range.
If you can get the birdie on this one,
You're cruising.
well, I'm saying if you go 5 for 5 and you get past this hole with a birdie, you're off to the races for a potential perfect round. This is one of the big bonus birdies on the course.
All right, hole 6. It's a par 4. It's 450. This is the lighthouse hole. You want to throw about 375 straight down this tunnel and then start to fade down this hill. It's easy to go 2 straight or throw the hyzer a little too inside, but then look at this green. That is not Photoshop. That is Lake Michigan. Unbelievable. One of the more memorable greens I've ever seen. And Cale making the correction.
Oh, and he's thrown a complete dime, and he is just outside circle 2. It looks like he'll have a pitch up to the basket. Neal going turnover. I love this. Oh, just gets slammed down by the canopy.
Bounced out. Yeah. Yeah. Around it.
And Mike's going to also be in that rough section. Neal has a hairy approach. There's a lot of little limbs blocking his way, and you can't quite tell what the wind is truly doing until you get to the flat. He's put it up high. And it's coasting, and that is tester range with that wind. And again, we are on the beach. We are on Lake Michigan. And with that, we see sand. And when I see sand, I think of glass. And that also makes me think about our sponsor of this event, Lakeshore Auto Glass.
Longtime sponsor. Big thanks to them for their continued support of the Silver Cup. I'm actually in need of a new windshield, Brian.
Yeah. Check out.
The Sprinter van has been through quite a lot over the last few years on the tour, and the last one just really, it had one of those cracks that went all the way across the windshield and catches all the light in the middle of the day, and it's time for a new one.
But luckily, we have Lakeshore Auto Glass for all of your glass needs. Mike Carman with a beautiful putt on the beach.
Oh, look at
and
that
Neal
catch.
drains the birdie putt. That is such a tough putt. You see the wind ripping. When you're putting that nose up at the basket, disc golf baskets are not meant to catch at that angle.
No.
That's not what they were designed for. So
all these putts are just, I mean, even Cale's right here. Cale has an 8-footer.
This is actually tougher than some of the 20-footers.
Yeah, and curious how he's going to put this one in.
I mean, you hope he has a tailwind. Oh, you saw that he had to absolutely...
That, seeing that fall down into the cage is a great feeling because that anything could happen.
Hole number 7, par 3, 330. It's a beautiful shot. Long, slow hyzer flip. We saw in round 2, players were having a tough time getting the disc to flip it. It might be because you're throwing a little bit uphill and you can't quite tell off the tee. We will see.
And there you go. Cale makes that correction. Gets that M2 drifting.
Still not terrible.
Foot more of height, but I think he's in the... Oh, yeah, he's 22 feet.
That's like 22 feet or 2 feet, you know. So,
yeah,
pretty good shot. Neal puts a move on that, and that's going to fade out back to the right.
Touch, man. Let's have a look. Nice.
25 feet.
I love the staggered start from Andrew right there.
Yeah, everything kind of comes out with a little flex, little nose up flex on it. And everything that he throws lands very softly. And Mike with a really smooth line. This looks great.
Yeah, pretty shape from Mike.
Pin high, 20 feet. Handful of good shots there. Neal capitalizes on the birdie. He's putting together a decent round as well. He's 18 under par total. He's starting to space from the 2 other players on this card. Andrew also cashes the birdie.
We might be looking at a star frame here.
And Cale is 6 down through 7 holes.
Was it a circle 1 miss? All right, hole 8. It's a par 4. Says 503 plays. 575. Up this hill. You'd really like to be past that first group of trees and ideally somewhere around here. The closer that you can get to this gap, the better because it is tight as you approach the green. We'll see roller up this hill. We'll see an Annie, big Annie's.
Hold it.
Needs to miss that.
Oh, good tree.
Whoever said good tree was wrong. That was directly behind a bush. Birdie is completely out of the picture unless Cale throws a beautiful patent pending. And Neal doesn't quite get the full flex over. And we'll see how far on the left or right side he is. He might have a hyzer up to the basket.
You can throw this one 400 off the tee and still get up and down as long as you're straight looking at the gap. Because you said it in round 2. The further left or further right you go, the gap is so tight that it just completely pinches off that angle.
Yeah, I like to say that the fairway is actually like maybe 30 feet wide directly from tee to basket. the further off that line you are, the harder it is to get the birdie. And Mike has put one in a really nice position. I think he has enough space to take an approach. Yeah, and this is Cale going. Forehand roller. You see if he executes this well, he might actually be up there. No way. I think he did. I think he's up there.
There's a back door. And
yeah.
Andrew's got all that extra motion or at the beginning, but then if you freeze his throw right at the pullback, it looks just identical to any other disc golfer. Mike going sensei here, just a little too inside out of the hand. Oh, and he finds himself in another tough spot. Going tomahawk here.
And he just wanted to get that to flat to hit the ground, and he's had an uncomfortable round.
And what was you mentioned Neal was he a wrestler?
Neal was a wrestler and a soccer player.
Okay.
Neal's an athlete.
He definitely looks like an athlete.
Yeah, and he has been a very solid disc golfer for a very long time. Again, when I was coming up as a kid, he was one of the players to beat. And he was one of the players that was throwing a DX Valkyrie on these crazy lines, and everybody had a story about holes that he threw over the trees on. And
that's awesome.
And yeah, we're going to move into hole number 9. Final hole of this front 9. Par 3 now, 524. Having to adapt the par to the talent of the game. We have this OB road. You have to choose, am I going to go for the birdie and smash one over the road and challenge the tree line deep, or am I going to lay up and pitch one over the road? Scoring spread on this hole normally says that the layup is all right. But it's just oh so tempting to go for it. Andrews is fading out a bit early, but it looks like he is playing that layup. He has another hyzer over the road to the basket. Cale might be going Baba Booey on this one.
Does he have enough turn out of the hand to cross that road?
So close. But you know what? I think he's going to be all right. I don't think
Yeah, he's going to be fine. And that's the good miss, too, right? You know, you don't want to hyzer out too early.
You don't want to go straight into that stuff. If you're on the left side, it's okay. You can maybe salvage it. Neal just threw that way too high.
Get up and down there, maybe.
At least he's positive.
DD3 here from Mike.
Oh, that was beautiful.
That's a perfect angle.
That was just a nice, smooth, textbook hyzer flip to flat, back to hyzer. And our lead card walking down the fairway. We get up to Neal's drive. He still has a little work to do. He's going hard turnover. Is it going to flatten out in time?
I got a chance there. Yep, I did.
Easy money for Andrew. Still curious as to where Cale is.
Drop in.
Oh, just off the front tray. Would have loved to see it too this week. We'll see where Cale is at. He does have a look. Give it to him. He nails it from circle 2, birdie.
That's back-to-back birdies on this hole from distance.
He's only missed one. He is 8 down through 9 holes, folks. Come on. And Neal with a fantastic par save.
Hey, he said it. I think I can get up and down from there.
Just that classic Neal Swanson wobbly spin putt. I have seen those go in from all over the place for years.
His card's getting it going.
And there you have it.
Shout out to Discmania and Rollin Ridge. Thanks for tuning in. We've got 9 more holes out here on the shores of Lake Michigan. I mean, look at that water, Brian.
Yeah, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we will see you for the back 9 holes.